Welcome to Best Practices for Navigating the Development Approval Process, brought to you by the NAIOP Center for Education. The development approval process can be complex to navigate for commercial real estate developers, but doing it well can help avoid costly delays. In this video, you will learn about the importance of building relationships with local officials, employers, and community leaders, as well as tips for understanding your project's impact on the neighborhood and gaining buy-in from stakeholders. At the end, we will provide a link to NAIOP's Development Approval Index project, which provides a tool to measure and compare actual permit approval processes in the U.S. It also includes a ranking of select jurisdictions. When it comes to moving your project forward, there are two areas where building relationships is especially important: government approvals and community support. Some of the first people you should meet with are the professional staff members of the local municipality. You can pitch your project, and they can provide guidance on how best to move forward as you develop your plans. You can also attend a city or county development office meeting to present your idea and connect with the relevant staff. The four main government offices you'll work with are the Planning and Zoning Department, Economic Development Department, Building Department, and those of elected officials such as the mayor, council members, or county executive. You'll need zoning approval for your project, so connecting early on with the zoning office will be beneficial. Zoning officials can explain current rules, discuss potential changes to zoning regulations, and explain their priorities for community development. Since zoning departments work closely with other local government committees, such as those focused on sustainability, parks, or transportation, they can help you understand broader community development goals and even advocate for your project. A city or county economic development department is interested in bringing in investment, businesses, economic growth, and tax revenue to their area. When presenting your project, you'll want to demonstrate how it can help them reach these goals. If they feel your project will contribute to economic development, they may be willing to offer tax or financial incentives. An economic development official can help you visualize your project and the bigger picture of how it will fit into the community. They may have helpful ideas or suggestions for adjustments to your project. Have this conversation early on so that you can learn how best to move forward with your project and how to present it to other government departments and the community. The Building Department handles all building code issues and manages applications for building permits. If you need guidance on building codes or plan to apply for variances, reaching out to this department will be beneficial. Establishing relationships with local or state elected officials and seeking their buy-in for your project can make it more likely you'll receive the necessary approvals. This may include representatives such as the mayor, city council members, or a board of supervisors. Remember, the higher up the ladder the official is, the less time and attention you may be able to get. As cities increasingly rely on new development to mitigate certain challenges, your outreach may need to expand to include certain special departments or quasi-municipal review. As an increasingly common example, there may be a separate department related to inclusionary housing requirements or key referral agencies, such as major utilities or highways, that you will need to engage. Your initial meeting with the city can help you determine the agencies that will require involvement. Additionally, local consultants can help guide you through a successful approval process. The roster will vary depending on the market, but at a minimum should include key members of your design team such as your civil engineer, and in many cases can expand to include land use council, lobbyists, and the like. Consultants that know the city well will make the best recommendations and help preserve your predictability and outcome. Gaining support from the local community will aid you in your efforts to move your project forward through the local permitting process. Demonstrating to local officials that you have community support will make it more likely that the project will be approved. Reach out by hosting events for community organizations, organizing meetings with community leaders, or engage with the homeowner associations. It's best to speak with community members throughout the development process and let them know that you care about their concerns and the impact of your project on the community. Connecting with local employers can help you better understand the needs of the community and build support for your project. Employers located near the project will be interested in what it can do for their employees who live and work in the area. There may be a need for more housing, services, grocery stores, restaurants, or office space. If your project could potentially fulfill some of those needs, employers will be more likely to support it. Employers can provide details about the demographics of the area and help you better understand the local market. Finally, they may have influence in the community, so their support can help you move your project forward. Above all, make sure your partners know that you value their input. Gaining buy-in from others means getting them on board and excited about your project. Every stakeholder will have a different priority and concern, and you should be prepared to address those issues as they are presented. To understand the perspectives of local leaders and community members, take time to learn about the area and consider the ways in which your project will impact the community. A new development may bring in more people, cars, and trucks, and therefore more traffic and noise. It may mean removing green space, making major changes to a familiar landscape, or disrupting current businesses. However, it can also bring services to the community such as doctors' offices, grocery stores, dry cleaners, and retailers, as it may increase the supply of housing and/or office space, which generate tax revenue for the city. Additionally, establishing relationships with local or state elected officials and getting their buy-in for your project can make it more likely you'll receive the necessary approvals. One of the ways to maintain relationships over time is to stay in regular communication by holding weekly or monthly meetings on how the project is progressing. In some instances, you may want to establish a group of community advocates with whom you meet regularly. The bottom line: communication with local officials and relationships with community stakeholders are critical to the success of your project. To build support, make sure to reach out early on. Gain buy-in, maintain communication, and get people to feel like they're a part of the project. While the best practices outlined in this video will be applicable for developers regardless of location, the specific steps and requirements of a development approval process can vary by state, city, or county. The NAIOP Development Approval Index project provides more information on actual development approval processes from select U.S. jurisdictions. You can access it by visiting naiop.org/developersindex. NAIOP provides educational content on all aspects of commercial real estate, with valuable insights from seasoned professionals who provide real-world expertise. To learn industry fundamentals, build your knowledge base, or develop advanced skills, visit learn.naiop.org. All courses are self-paced and on demand.